Hello and welcome to the Crafty Little Rat podcast. My name is Hannah. I'm Crafty Little Rat on Ravelry and Instagram, Crafty Little Rat at outlook.co.uk and craftylittlerat.blogspot.com. This is episode 2. Thank you very much if you watched episode 1, and if you're a new viewer, thank you for choosing to go and try my podcast. Only 2 episodes in, still pretty new to this, still feeling a little bit nervous in front of the camera. But yeah, we'll get there, I'm sure. Right, so this is actually my 3rd attempt at recording this podcast. My first one, I forgot something. My second one, the lighting was abysmal, worse than it even is today, which is a little bit grey and overcast. And then the third one, my laptop decided to die because it was too hot. So I've got a cooling fan on the bottom at the moment, so there might be a tiny bit more background noise than normal. I am sorry about that, but it's not an old laptop, but it's coming up to maybe, I think, 4 years old, 3.5, nearly 4 years old. So it's sort of getting past its prime. Anyway, so gonna go on to my first segment, which is you're still working on that, and I am for the first one. The first one is something I showed you all last time, and it is Smaug, the African flower dragon. The pattern is by Heidi Bears. Eee! And last time you saw him, he was just a pile of hexagons. I'd got the middle row, the green, I've got the centre, the green, and that white round the edges done. I hadn't joined them together. So, I have finished joining together his body, which was quite a big sort of an endeavour, and I finished his head with his eyes. He is gigantic. He's so big. He's so cuddly as well. I've got 2 weeks left until my nephew's birthday, and I have to finish him before then. I've got wings to finish, I've got horns to do, and then the spikes all the way. Down his back. So, this one I've been using Stylecraft for. I've been using the double knit Stylecraft special just because it comes in a wider range of colours. And it was easily accessible. I can get the 4-ply online. The 4-ply getting that online isn't a problem, but where I went to buy the wool, I knew that they would have the double knit, so that's what I went with, and a 3mm hook is what I've been using. So the green is meadow, the white is cream, and the red, and that's Stylecraft Special DK. The red around the outside is Stylecraft Life DK, and that's in cardinal. The red in the special range is called Lipstick, and not that you can particularly tell, but some of his tail motifs have been done in Lipstick because I ran out. So the lesson is, if you're doing your dragon in double knitting, you definitely need 2 balls. The only one I got away with one was the cream, but you definitely need 2 balls of if you're doing them all the motifs in the same colour, you definitely need 2 balls of the petal colour, and you will need at least 2, if not, next time I probably err on the side of maybe 3 of the outside colour, because the wings aren't made up of 3 colours. They're made of the same motifs, but they're actually solid colours instead, which is why I've left them till last, and I am going to crochet them and join them as I go, as opposed to these, which I crocheted up until that round, the long double crochet down round. I crocheted them all up to there, as I showed you last week, and then I joined them all in again. But in order to save on ends, I'm going to do the solid colours as I go. So I'm not entirely sure. I've got Lipstick leftovers, so I'm going to use that, but I'm not entirely sure I'll even have enough of that. So I've got some other assorted reds in my arsenal, in my stash. So I'm crocheting the wings. I'm doing them both at the same time. So if it's make a motif, make a pentagon, or I think it's hexagons for those. Make a hexagon, add a hexagon. I'm making 2 adding 2 hexagons. So the wings are going to be at the same time. That way, if I do have to shift colours, the colours will shift in the same place, more or less on the same motif on each wing. So rather than having one wing in the cardinal, in the lipstick red, and one wing in a different brand, a non-Stylecraft brand of red. I'm holding out hopes that I've got enough to finish the wings, but I don't think I'll have enough to do the spikes down his back. In which case I have got a yellow, a sunshine yellow. I've got nearly a full ball of that I will use instead. So he's going to love it. It is huge. It is giant. He's a 3-year-old. It might not last a year, but who knows. And then after that, I'm not doing any more of these for at least 6 months. The eyes are slightly different to the pattern. I've used safety eyes. These are the ones that have a washer behind them. He's 3, so it should be okay. When I give it to him, I'm going to, obviously tell his parents what kind of eyes they are, because he does have a 7-month-old little sister, so they're going to have to just be careful that she doesn't go and stick it in her mouth. So she seems to like chewing on human flesh more than she does on stuffed toys at the moment, but you never can be too careful, can you? So, Smaug, hopefully I will record before I give him, so hopefully there will be a finished one for Smaug. Okay, right, next upon my needles is the dress. A dress. Box here, and everything's a bit jumbled up because it's the 3rd time podcast like this. So, back when we went to Wonderwall, Michelle pointed out this dress to me and said, that's really nice. Wouldn't it be great if you knitted this for an event we're going to in February when we go over to Canada? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So here is the dress. It's from Pearl Alpaca Designs, and the designer is Carrie Helene Rain, R-A-N-E. It's better if I hold it up to this side, wouldn't it? As I'm sat. As you can see, it's cabled, and it's in a sort of a lovely grey colour on the pattern. It's a bit faded because of the light. It's an awkward day with the light, I'm afraid. The pattern is called Icon, and you can find it on their Ravelry page. They actually sell this as a singular pattern, which I think was maybe £5. They sell it as a kit with the Pearl Alpaca yarn, and they also sell it as a finished garment. You can pay somebody to have it made for you, and I don't think the prices were too unreasonable on that, actually. So I wanted to make it myself, but as February ticks ever closer, I'm sort of regretting that decision a bit, but never mind. Okay, it wouldn't actually go so slow, but I've had no end of problems with this. And it's me. It isn't a pattern at all, it's me. It's a folded picot hem. See, here's my yarn hoovers. It's a folded picot hem. It will fold up. I've chosen the most awkward bit to do it in. Yeah, because that looks like. Come on, Hannah. There we go. Sort of see, it's a little bit stretched out there, but yeah, folded picot hem. And I've done maybe one before. I like the look of them, but I never did like the execution. So the first time I went to knit it, I thought, I know better than the pattern, which is always a good start. And I thought, I'm going to do a provisional cast on. Now that might have worked in a different wool, but not so much in this. So I got to the row, I started trying to unpick my cast on. It's a sticky wool, it just didn't work. Okay, right, fine, rip, rip, rip. Out we go. So I tried again, and this time round I did it the way the pattern said, which was to just do an ordinary cast on. And then when you get to this point, it's the next row actually. When you get to this point, you'll fold it up, pick up one from the cast on edge, purl it together with the one on the needle. And I got halfway through that and I was like, I hate this. I don't think it's particularly even. I, wasn't loving it at all, and it was stopping me from picking it up. Pick it up, I'd do 2 stitches, I'd put it down again, and it was making me dread because the dress is worked as a front and a back. So this is, although it's a big amount of knitting at the moment, it's a very flouncy skirt on it. So I was dreading doing the back then. So what I've decided to do instead, even though I haven't picked it up in a few days, is I've cast on again, and now I'm at the row where I would do the turn. What I'm going to do is every few stitches along, I'm going to slip a loom band, one of those plastic elastic bands that were all the craze for making into like bracelets and stuff. I'm going to slip one of those as a collar around the stitch before I pass it back to the needle and work it. So I'm sort of leaving myself a big long line, a big long sort of lifeline, if you like. I could actually thread a lifeline in. I might do that instead because that'll be easy to pull out rather than snipping all of the loom bands. So I'm going to form myself some sort of a lifeline. And then when I come to the end and I'm doing the sewing, because you've got to sew, because it is front and back, you have to sew down and down. And I think it's very minimal shaping. You leave a hole for the arms, pick up and knit some rib. So I'm going to have to do quite a bit of sewing anyway. So I figure I may as well sew down the picot hem, and that way I'll actually get it done. I'll be happy with it. It'll be even, especially if I can pin it before I sew it. So that's that plan. That's the plan for that anyway. But yeah, no, I really like the wool. I should say something really about the wool. This wool is from the Riseby flock. The Riseby flock is a flock of Lincolnshire longwools. It's a breed-specific yarn. It does only contain Lincolnshire longwool wool. I have got it tasselled in several other bits of yarn. There we go. It's my life, this one big tassel of yarn. Yeah, so this is the wool. There wasn't a label with it. It all came in a box with a business card, which is fine. This was a ball. I had a couple of balls and then I had a couple of cones because I ordered some cones. Lovely lady, actually, really nice to deal with. I ordered it. It came fairly quickly. It was nice and easy. It was a bit of a sort of a hairy moment ordering because it was from their own website. It wasn't an Etsy or it was sort of a click here and pay through PayPal, and you're like, oh, I hope this turns up. I hope this turns up. Ordered it on my credit card just to be safe. But yeah, it's lovely. It's not the softest wool in the world. Longwool, Lincolnshire longwool isn't though. So for anybody expecting a merino soft wool, it's sort of no. And you can sort of see at the top the little bit of fluff, a little bit of sort of not guard hairs, because guard hairs are hard, but you can sort of see that it's not going to sort of slide across the skin as smoothly as, say, like a merino would, or the alpaca. The alpaca would be incredibly soft and also incredibly warm. This will be incredibly warm as well, but I'm hoping Canada in February, I should be okay. As it is a dress, I am planning on wearing a slip or possibly maybe sort of like control pants, one of those sort of Spanx like a unitard sort of thing, I suppose is the best way to describe it. One of those suck you in everywhere sort of jobs. So yeah, fingers crossed. I need to have this done by February. I need to have this done. Well, I need to have this done really by December. So I'm going to have to focus and not pick up new things after this new thing. I will show you. That's awful, isn't it? No new things. Look, a new thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be really careful about what I do between now and February because I've got that. I've got this. I need to finish. I have a shawl on the go that I'm not sure whether I want to finish by February. But I also have a couple of other things I would like to make, but I'm not sure whether I would want to make them or I might try and buy them off somebody, depending how many goes, obviously. Right, so that is Icon Dress, Carrie Helen Rain, and this is the Riseby Flock Lincoln Longwool. Okie dokie, what is next on the needles? Okay, I have just swatched this so far, but I will show you anyway. Clue 1 has been released. It's for the Bay Area Knitter Mystery Knit Along, and that's Christine Marie Shen. And yeah, I wanted to do something with these walls that I showed you last time. It's just a boring stockinette swatch. Stocking stitch swatch. Ooh, swatch is a hard word, isn't it? But anyway, tension square. It's a tension square. So the bottom is the poppy seed, and then the top is the owls, and that's West Yorkshire Spinner's signature fork line. So owls, and then the coordinated colour, which is poppy seed. So I just have done a tension square, just to sort of get it out of the way with, and make sure that my tension is on point. I actually hit tension on these. I'm using 4mm needles, and the ones I'm using are the Knit Pro Symphonies. So yeah, I really like knitting with this yarn. I didn't do enough of a garter edge to stop it from flipping up, but yeah, no, I really like knitting with this. It's lovely. It's going to be really nice and sort of soft. The colours are nice. They're not normally colours I would wear, they're not normally colours I would wear, but it's going to be really nice to have something, especially sort of shawl-wise, that's going to be a bit more subdued than my normal rainbow bright neon colours. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to cast on today. I was going to use this as my main colour, and then this, then the owls as my contrasting colour, but she does say in the pattern to make sure that any sort of brightly coloured ones is your main, and then your solid is your contrasting. So that's fine, I'll do it like that. I wanted, the clues was released on Saturday, but I was so busy on Saturday. I went to Cardiff Pride with work, and we arrived at 10 o'clock and we left at 5, and then I came home and collapsed. I was so tired. I thought, which goes on to my next work in progress, I thought I will get some knitting done. At least if I don't get any knitting done while I'm there, because I am working, that's fine. I went with my organisation. It's not a company really. We're civil servants. I went with my organisation and our diversity group. We have a diversity group, and we have a friends of. We have an LGBT diversity group, and we have friends of, which is our Straight Allies network. So I went along with my friend to help out with that. But yeah, it was a very long day. I thought I will knit while I'm in the car driving down to Cardiff. I thought I'll get some, I'll get half an hour, 3/4 of an hour of good knitting in there. No, my friend has got a puppy, and I love dogs. I love all sorts of animals. But the puppy she's very little. She's 11 weeks old. She's a border terrier anyway, so she's not a very big dog. But Maisie is 11 weeks old, so they've had her for 3 weeks, and we left her house. Her wife was driving, and she had the puppy on her knee, and then Maisie kept looking backwards at me and was like, I want to come and sit with you. I want to come and sit with you. So by the time I got maybe a round knitted on my socks before I had Maisie on my knee all the way to Cardiff, cuddling me and giving me kisses, and I am in love. I'm in love with this puppy. I want to steal her and kidnap her and make her mine. But I have to make do with puppy cuddles. Once a week I get puppy cuddles. So the world is all right when you get puppy cuddles. So anyway, after that big long distraction. So Bay Area Knitter, that's the owls in the ball, I should say, and then that is the poppy seed in the ball. I will be, I've gone out of focus. That's it. I will be casting that on tonight, fingers crossed, after I've finished recording this podcast. So that is my only new exception, and that's because I would love to get that done before I meet Angie in Bristol. Hopefully meet Angie in Bristol. Bristol Wool Fair is on I think it's the 19th of August, September. Yeah, because we're in August now. 19th of September, I think, is Bristol Wool Fair that weekend. So I thought, great, brilliant, we'll go. I'll meet Angie there. It'll be nice. They say they do a shuttle bus service. And they do a shuttle bus service, but it's from Cribbs Causeway. Now, Cribbs Causeway is a big shopping centre, and I get that for a lot of people who are driving in, Cribbs Causeway is a nice, easy place to go. The place that they're actually in has good, ample on-site parking though. So, saying that there's tons of parking at Cribbs to park there and get the shuttle bus in isn't really an amazing sort of compromise. So I was going to go by the train because for me the bridge from Bristol costs me about £6 to get back into Wales. Going to Bristol isn't a problem. Getting back into Wales costs you money, unless you go the long way round. So that's fine. I wasn't objecting to that, but when I looked, a train ticket to Bristol Parkway was only about 8 or 9. So I thought, well, I might as well just go on the train. But now I would have to take a train to Parkway, then get a bus to Cribbs Causeway, which is about a 45-minute bus journey, and then get the shuttle bus from Cribbs to the place. So I'm thinking I might as well drive now. But I know that not everybody is comfortable driving in cities. I'm lucky really because I get to go around the outskirts. I don't have to go into Bristol. So that's fine by me, but I don't know whether Angie will. I've said I will come and I will pick you up at Parkway. I hope my message got through. I'll pick you up at Parkway. I'll be brave and come and pick you up at Parkway. But I was a bit disappointed with that sort of in the organisation. It's nice they're running a shuttle bus. It's great that it's free, but really the place it's from needs to be a bit better because there's going to be lots of people who want to come by train who just can't then, or who can but then have to spend another £10 plus, £5-6 probably getting a return bus to Cribbs Causeway. So anyway, travel knitting, socks. This is what I was knitting on the travel. I haven't really got a lot to say about these. They're plain socks, 64 stitches. I've been knitting them in my lunch break because I've been lunching on my own a lot with my friend Jamie having to go back to the dog. I can't join her every day. I just can't. I just don't have the time to join her every day. So I've been knitting them in my lunch break. I've been knitting them in the car as and when I can, when I'm not driving. I like them. The yarn is Sirdar Heart and Soul, and the colourway is Move to the Groove. They have the best colourway names. Nothing really special to say about this. It's a 64 stitch sock. That's my standard sort of number that I do. I find that that fits my feet really well. I did cast these on. I had these for a couple of weeks really. I'm back to where I started with them. I started them, I cast them on, and then I discovered that I was using a 2.75 needle instead of a 2.5mm needle, so they were coming up too loose and too big. I need to get a shift on really because it's probably, it's nearly halfway, it's over halfway through the month and I haven't even finished a sock yet, so I might have to bring them back and knit them in the house as well. I've been so tired lately that I've just been coming in and going to bed, and it's really sort of hampered my knitting. So anyway, that's what I'm working on at the moment, which is lots, and not enough time left in the week. So my next category is FO Frenzy, and again, I only have one thing to show you this time round. This is a pattern from a book. This is the book, Hand Knit Holidays, and the pattern that I have been doing is called the Christmas Tree Skirt, and she says, I bet I've lost it, there it is, Tree Skirt is what it's called, Christmas Tree Skirt, just Tree Skirt. Tiva Durham is the designer for this one. So there we go, it's an Aran tree skirt, it goes underneath the Christmas tree. It's down on the floor because it is big. So this is just a section of it. As you can tell, my needles are still in it. So it is finished though. I will hasten to add. So what we've been doing as part of the group, we decided to start this sort of last Christmas. Somebody knitted one, and we said, how good would it be if we did an annual, a year-long knit-along? Each of the Christmas tree, you can see the pattern repeats around. It really looks like I've twisted a cable wrong there. I haven't. I don't think I have anyway. But the pattern repeats around, and yeah, this is because the chart is divided up into 11 segments. You repeat this one segment 11 times around. So the idea was that me and several other people, we would start it in January, and we would knit a segment each month, and then we would finish it in November, ready for putting it under the tree in December. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I think I might be the only person still in the knit-along, but never mind. The yarn I'm using is Stylecraft DK, Stylecraft Chunky, and say that it's cream and possibly lipstick. I think the red along the edge is lipstick. It's knitted in an intarsia method. Clinking of the gigantic knitting needles. These are 9mm knitting needles. They're very, very big. So yeah, you use 2 strands of it held double. That's probably my only complaint. Again, this is one of the things about substituting yarns, and I try and encourage people to substitute yarns whenever they feel the need to, whenever they would like to. There is no laws that say you have to knit with the wool in the pattern, and this is one of the cases for it. This is 2 strands held double, and the wool that they intended for you to use is Lopi, which is a 100% pure wool. It's Icelandic, it's lovely. I've knitted with Lopi before, but it's also incredibly expensive because it is wool. This isn't a garment this isn't a blanket for a person. This isn't a jumper for a person. This isn't ever going to be anything but something that sits underneath an ornament. Because Christmas trees really, they just are ornaments, aren't they? So it's not, I couldn't see the point in spending over £100 plus on what would be out for a month a year. So I think it was still about £25 to do it in the because you need 13 of the main colour, and I think it was either 3 or 4 of the contrast colour. So it wasn't a cheap project even doing it in Stylecraft, but this way I know that come the start of the year I can chuck it in the box with the other bits, and then in November when I go to get the Christmas tree stuff down, if it needs a wash, I can chuck it in the wash with a colour catcher for the red, and be done with it, and it will go underneath, and chuck it in the tumble dryer and it will go underneath the Christmas tree and be happy. So the way it's worked is it's worked in ever sort of decreasing short rows. You go all the way across and then sort of come back until you're eventually just working 2 or 3 stitches. I really like the pattern. It's nice, it's interesting. I don't think I would have wanted to have done it all at once though. I would have got incredibly bored with repeating it. So after sort of section 7, which is what I've just finished, which is why it's counted as an FO, I've got the chart pretty much memorised. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing here. I remember this bit. So, but it's still interesting enough because it's been a month since I've last done it. If I was doing them all at once, I would have got incredibly bored by now and probably would have abandoned it. So it's been nice. It's been really nice to have something every month that I know I've got to do. My socks look the same, but it's not unregimented. You know, every month I get an item out of it, rather than sort of a long burn project for a long burn project, but a long burn project that has an end in mind. Because I have got a couple of long burns, obviously with the zoom loom squares. That's a long-term project because I've got to keep going until I get enough of those for a sock yarn blanket. I know the end number is there and the end number is in the 400s. But with this, I knew at the end of the 12 months I would have it. So I'm thinking next year I might do a similar thing with the sock zoom loom blanket. I will find out how many I've got. I've worked out how many I need for my blankets, I will divide 2. I will take away the little number from the big number and then divide that by 12. So that I know in a year I need to make, say, 20, in a month I need to make 20 or 30 in order to hit my goal and have my blanket completed by the end of the year. In the hopes that I have enough sock yarn to do that by that point, but we shall see. Anyway, that's it for FO Frenzy. And Frenzy of 1 again as usual. So, in a spin is the next category. I have a finished in here as well, actually. I have finished what I was spinning last time, which was my New Zealand Corriedale and my Black Welsh. Spin that. This is how that came out. I am going to call the yarn Neon Barb Poles because of how the Black Welsh barb fold around the corridor. Now, I like this, I do. I still hated spinning the Black Welsh. Absolutely hated it. By the time I got to the end, I had a little bit left of the Black Welsh and I just didn't want to spin it anymore. So I thought, I must have more of that than I do the Corriedale. I didn't. But I still got a decent amount of yardage from it. I got 149 grams in weight and I got 713 meters. It came out at 22 wraps per inch, which puts it into the lace weight category. So yeah, I was very I was happy with this. I was satisfied with the way it came out. The way it did work is that you've got sort of short bursts of colour. So the Corriedale was pink, yellow, green and blue. So you've got short bursts of, say, pink, which then goes into a yellow, which then goes into a green, which then goes into a blue. So I liked that approach, and I was thinking next time what I might do, it would be interesting. The black really makes it pop. The black makes it pop more than, say, a white would. So I might have to try and I might even try again with another Black Welsh, or I might try and find a commercially dyed black, or I'm not sure if there's another natural sheep breed that's black. I will have to do some research. If you know of one, please tell me in the comments or send me a Ravelry message or something like that. This will probably be a shawl. There's enough of it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'd be interested in doing one again with another colour run yarn, but splitting it vertically so that I had a very, very, very long run of pink, which then went into a very, very, very long run of blue, which then went, so I had a sort of a gradient transition with a barber pole, which would be quite interesting, I think. So that's that. It's reasonably soft. I'm going to try knitting with it and crocheting with it to see which it wants to be. But again, it would probably be, maybe, I'm thinking an asymmetric shawl, probably. Who knows? When I eventually get round to it, because I'm not casting anything new on, remember? So, we shall see. But anyway, that's that. I have got something again on the wheel. What I've got at the moment is a Wheeldale Woolcraft bat. Now, I bought this bat at my very first Wonder Wool. I pulled some bits off it, so it's not a very good example of what a bat is, but it is Shetland and Merino silk. It's really, really lovely. It's got sort of blues in it, purples, a little bit of yellow, sort of a little bit of everything. It's been carded really nicely. See, I've just been tearing chunks off it to spin it, rather than any sort of professional or proper prep. So it's coming up as a sort of a semi-woolen, even though I'm spinning it sort of inchworm worsted style. Woolen, for those of you who don't know, is where the fibres are sort of a bit of a mismatch. They're not worsted yarns. Come from roving, which is where every single fibre is lined up identically and is sort of similar weight. Anyway, that's what I'm getting at the moment, and then that's the sort of the thickness of it. It is only a 30-gram bat, so I won't be getting as much out of it as I would possibly like. So I thought, well, what do? I could keep it as a single yarn. I could. I don't like knitting with singles much. I think they curl far too easily. So I needed something, but I knew if I Navajo plied it, which is to make a 3-ply out of it, I would end up with less yarn than I could possibly have. If I 2-plied it, I still would end up with less. So say the single is 300 meters, which probably it won't be, but say it's 300 meters for ease of numbers. If I did it as a 2-ply, I would end up with 150 meters or thereabouts. Say I did it as a Navajo ply, which is a 3-ply, I would end up with 100 meters. And that's, I want the most out of this that I possibly can. So one day, a few weeks ago, not last Friday, Friday before last, excuse me, my other half was off work, so I was let loose with the car. I've only been driving a couple of months, but he let me. I had to drive into work and I had to drive back on my own, which was the first time I've ever done that. And it was fine. I was fine. But on the way back, I could go to Hobbycraft. So I picked up some of this. It's a Gutermann sulky thread, and there is it's 60% polyamide, 40% polyester, metallic, 200 meters or 220 yards. So I picked up 2 of those, and that's my plan. I'm going to thread ply it with the single. I will let you know how it goes. I'm not planning on doing a special thread ply. I am just planning on doing plying it as if this was a yarn. I'm not going to make coils, I'm not going to make bumps, I'm just going to ply it as if this was a normal yarn. So we shall see how that goes. There's the 2 of them together. So I figured it would pick up the sort of the light bits. It's hard to see, but it has got sort of bits of pink, bits of blue in the thread. I hopefully will get that finished before the next time we talk, and it might be a disaster, but who knows. Anyway, that's it for In a Spin. Ooh, shiny is my next one. I wanted to very quickly show you some things I got. This is my first one. It's quite hard to show you without the glass because we have framed it, but it is a picture of my little hamster. This is Isla, and it's a drawing by a very talented artist called Anna Tipton, who I will put a link to her Facebook page and to her Etsy on the show notes. We love Anna. We've known Anna for quite a few years now, and she always does amazing work, and she just gets better as time goes on. This is watercolour, which I think is where her artwork really shines. She also does digital, and she paints on bags, she does boxes, she does no end of brilliant things. Her specialty is rats, which is where we've originally sort of got pictures from her. We've got one of each of our rats that sadly we don't have them anymore. They passed on. We lost the last lot in February. We had 3 that passed away in February, so we don't have any more rats at the moment, and we're not having any more until we get back from Canada at the very earliest. But we have got a hamster who owns us now, so yeah. So this is Isla the hamster, and I wanted one of her just to sort of finish off my wall of fame on my wall. Yeah, so that's really nice. I'm going to try and get that put up this week. My next one is a sewing pattern. I have bought the Dotty Angel by Simplicity 108A, which is the Dotty Angel pattern. I didn't like this dress from the pictures on here. I think that I wasn't too keen on the styling of it. It was too arty-farty, really, for me. Probably the best way to describe it. I don't know what the woman in the pictures has about showing her face. But every single one, you cannot see her eyes in it. But I've seen a couple made up that have sold me on it more than this actual pattern has. The actual Dotty Angel lady herself did some with some elastic in it in order to make the shape not quite so boxy. I mean, I'm not small. I have lost a lot of weight recently, but I still have a way to go. But this would not flatter me at the moment as is. So I need a little bit of, you know, she says wearing a really boxy t-shirt, a Dolman t-shirt. But if I just have, you know, just something just to sort of bring it in a little bit at the back, just a little bit of elastic, a little bit of an elastic here, it creates a much better silhouette on me. So luckily, I'm either brave enough or stupid enough to have a go at this and try and adapt it to fit my own needs. A lot of it she uses French seams for, rather than ordinary seams, and I just can't see the point. Not for something like this. It's in a cotton fabric. It's not as if it's in a very fine fabric. So yeah, I haven't read the patterns yet, but patterns, and then you get instructions, or general directions. That's good for me, isn't it? And then I'm assuming you've got proper notes, and then you've got your pack pieces also coming back. Fabric is the next thing with this. I love sewing. I have a sewing machine. I have had my sewing machine for a while. I have tried to sew. I have been successful in some things. But the thing that holds me back from it is sewing is so expensive. Being able to knit a garment can be expensive. It can also be cheap because you can use acrylic. Well, that's better light. Oh no, there we go. You can use acrylic. You could use acrylic, and you can use Von Miser. You can use high-end yak yarn. So you could sort of do it, but for the amount of hours of enjoyment you get out of it, knitting isn't really a bad trade-off, even when you use the most expensive wool. Sewing sometimes seems to be, because if something goes wrong in knitting, if you make a mistake, you can rip it out and you can use the wool again. Material isn't that forgiving. So I've been trying to look around for some alternatives, because I really wanted a pattern with foxes on it. I like foxes. This is a bit too big for me now, actually, but I really like foxes at the moment. I'm really into foxes and my nature and my wildlife. I've got a wildlife dress that I want to replace because I bought it a year ago and then I've lost 4 stone, so it doesn't fit me anymore. So I really wanted something along that similar line. I will alter that dress though. I want it for when I'm finished, when I'm down at gold, but I will alter it. So I was looking around, and all of the fox fabric I found was lovely, but was about £8 to £12 a metre. This dress requires 2.5 metres. I think it's 2.25 yards, so about 2.5 metres. And I just, you're sort of looking at sort of £40 plus. By the time you've ordered your bias binding, by the time you've ordered your contrasting colour, and all sorts of that. So I couldn't run to that. Just not in the budget at the moment. But I have found, and this is a pillowcase from the set, a duvet set from Asda, which I've got upside down. Yes, I have. A duvet set from Asda, which I really liked. So it is a polycotton, but it is a relatively substantial polycotton. Right, see, I put my arm in there and you can't see through it, so I'm not likely to be flashing anybody in my bra. But the pattern on it is gorgeous. It has got the little blue squirrels, the stags, little sleeping foxes. It's hard to show. There's a little city uppy foxes. That way, backwards, left is right, right is left. Sleeping foxes. It's got some really lovely sort of prints on it. Now, I bought the king size duvet set, and that was 15 quid. So, I mean, you can't beat it. I'm not a snob, I wear a lot of polycottons in my ordinary bought ready-to-wear clothing, I suppose. The hair as well, I love the little hair. So I'm going to try and make this out of this. And as I say, I'm not going to be too precious about French seaming. I'm going to do, the pockets are going to be self pockets, or I'm debating leaving off the pockets and maybe doing, because they're on the front, on the knees, and I'm not entirely sure how practical that is, so I might do sort of hip insert pockets. and just really use the shape of it as a guidance for making my own pattern rather than... See, I'm an awful sub. Buy the pattern, sew your own dress on a completely different idea and scale. But, you know, if it goes wrong, I can only blame myself. But at 15 quid, and I will have material left over, that's better than spending £7 a metre, you know, on a... Okay, it was 100% cotton. But still, it would have been 14, 3 7 21. Yeah, it would have been sort of £21 plus the bit extra, and I will have leftovers from this. So on a king size, I might even be able to cut it out of one sort of side. Who knows? We shall see. So that's that with the Dotty Angel dress. My last one is something that I pre-ordered a while ago and have been eagerly awaiting, and it is the Edward's Menagerie book, Birds, by Kerry Lord. I bought when it came out last year, I got the Edward's Menagerie book, and I really enjoyed it. But this one, it just deals with, as you can probably guess, birds, and it's brilliant. It's fantastic. There are so many different patterns in here, and the way it's set out is great. The patterns, there are, I think it's possibly 40 fine feathered threads to fly off your hook and put their feet up on your coffee table. And that's some of them on the back. They are arranged in order of difficulty. So section 1 is easy, section 2 is more difficult, level 1 is easy, level 2, level 3, through to level 4. Level 4 often involves intarsia, sort of more difficult sort of embroidery skills, but they're still not particularly hard. They're all based off very similar shapes. So, basics. This is it's a bit more complicated than the Ed's animals because of different birds all have different sorts of forms, but here is the standard form, so that's the standard body and the standard head, and then you've got different kinds of legs. So you've got a paddling leg, a swimming leg, over there you've got a climbing leg, a grasping leg, but all sorts of different kinds of legs, and then all sorts of different kinds of wings. So what is the easiest thing to do is to pick this book up, is to have a copy of those, and then to have a copy of your... I've photocopied those in the past from the Edward's Menagerie. I photocopied the base shapes and then photocopied the pattern. So, say you wanted to make a... let's go for Dave. Dave the Seagull. The pattern for Dave the Seagull is really short. It all fits onto that one page, and the reason it all fits onto that one page is because it asks you to refer back earlier on in the book. So, body, head, neck, work as standard in cream. It just tells you what colour to go for. And then legs, work standard paddling legs, starting in cream, changing to yellow, and then wings, and then beak. It tells you different things. Some of them have sort of more in-depth instructions. Sophia, who is a flamingo, the body and the head instructions work as standard in pink, but extend the neck by 8 rounds, so you just make it bigger. Each of the birds have their own sort of a little blurb about them. I'm trying to find a really good one. Robin the Robin. And it says, Robin is a little more obsessed with his wood burning, more than a little obsessed with his wood burning stove. All summer he sits on the sofa, longing for the temperature to drop low enough so that he can start setting light to his carefully arranged log pile. His wife is starting to get concerned that his self-hewn kindling fixation may have gone too far, especially now that he's showing an interest in ripping out the cooker. A quick check on his search history online reveals that he has plans for a build-your-own brick oven in the kitchen, Fortunately for all involved, his wife's favourite foods are best served on a crispy crust, so she may as well just buy him a new axe and start practicing her kneading. Who knew robins ate pizza? So yeah, I really like this book. It's great. There are quite a few birds in there that I actually think I will make. George the Jay, Jorge. Yeah, he's one of my favourites, I think. And Petra, the rockhopper penguin. Rockhopper penguins are so cool. They're amazing little birds. Yeah, it's a brilliant book. Lev Edwards Menagerie, the original, and I think I will get quite a bit of use out of this. Any slight complaint? If I had to pick something to complain about, which I'm British, so I do, is that there isn't an ebook download. I think there is an ebook download on Ravelry, but by buying the book, you don't get a complimentary ebook download. Certain books that I've had in the past, you do. You get a coupon code somewhere tucked into the front, which says, thank you for buying, this is your unique Ravelry code, you plug it into the checkout, and it makes it free, and you can download it, or save it into your Ravelry library. So that means for me, when I'm out and about, which is often how I crochet, I can just print off the pages I need, rather than have to photocopy them, or rather than have to take a big book along with me. So that's my only minor complaint, but it is such a minor complaint. I really do love the book. And I'm very sad this week, they're having an open day and I can't go, and I'm very, very sad because last year we went and it was fantastic. So anyway, nearly an hour. I apologise again today for the weird lighting. The weather is it's dry, but it's looking like it might rain. There's some people just sat on my wall. I hate living in the city, I really do. They're just sat on my wall, perched bum on my wall, just chatting, and I have no idea what they're doing. Anyway, so they're probably wondering what that crazy lady in the house is doing, talking into her laptop. Anyway, I will go now before I make this even more weirder than it has to be. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate you putting up with me and listening to me blabber on. Hopefully, 2 weeks I will see you again, and hopefully I will have some more finished objects to talk about. I will pull my thumb out of my bum and get on and just, rather than go to bed, get on and actually do something. I've got so many TV shows I need to catch up on, I've got so many movies I need to watch, and I just come home and go to bed. But my thyroid medication isn't right at the moment, so hopefully I'll get that fixed, and I've got a blood test tomorrow, so hopefully they'll sort of get me sorted and get me back to being, good old usual. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and please feel free to get in contact with me, and yeah, I will hopefully see you in a few weeks. Happy knitting, and I'd love to know what you're working on. Please feel free to add me as a friend on Ravelry or send me a message. Thank you again. Ta-ra.